All right. Are we on? What up? All right, and I can hear you okay. So yeah. Hello there, guys. Welcome back to another episode of E&Ftv. Today is something actually completely different. We're not going to be following the same format. It's not necessarily a show of E&Ftv as we would usually have it. But it's something that I'm really excited about talking about. It's something that's coming up and something that I'm really passionate about, as I know Peter is as well, which is why we are partnering Edwards and Finn and Venue Performance on something I feel really proud of and I feel actually really, really excited about. So I'm going to actually hand over a bit to Peter here just to give us a bit of a flavor. And then we're just going to have a bit of chat about it. Tell people, give them a bit of an idea of what's coming. So yeah, take it away, mate. Let's have a chat about it.
Okay, thanks, Tom, and hello, folks who are watching. So the thing is an event. It's an M&E specific event, and it's an event with a difference. And both Tom and I feel very strongly. Tom's very passionate, as everybody knows.
Mm.
I feel quite strongly that the M&E industry needs its own event, and that's where we've sort of come together. So what we've been doing in the background is we've been putting together what we feel is the best format of event because we don't want it to be just another standard conference with
Mm.
the usual things going on. Those are great, and Tom and I attend those, and we get a lot of value out of those. But we want it to be M&E specific, and we want to create a bit of a
Mhm.
well, we both agree we want to create a bit of spice and a bit of oomph within
Yes.
within audience participation and engagement. So we've come up with a new idea, which is debate. It's actually your idea, wasn't it, Tom? It's a debate format. So you tell everybody
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, it was one of those. I remember what was it? It was at the start or close to the start of 2023, and then in the summer I started thinking about what could come of a real debate. I am somebody that is a massive fan. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm a massive fan of debates. I know that sounds a bit sad, but watching debates on YouTube, listening to opposing points, diversity of thought, and it always got my blood flowing. I was like really invested, and I always was looking for that opportunity for my mindset or my vote, if you like, at home to be wavered or to be questioned because I have a massive thing about continuously learning and understanding, as I
Being
say,
challenged.
different. Yeah, just that constant conflict of thought. And I thought, you know what? Having such amazing guests on the show and looking at these amazing conferences, I started to think like there's got to be conflict of thought here. There's got to be people in this audience, or there's got to be people that are wanting more from a panel that sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes we do find that panelists end up just agreeing with each other. And it becomes a very nod your head and everyone's agreeing with each other. And the only time you really get any sort of spiciness is when you get questions. And I suppose my thought process was get some amazing panelists, amazing industry leaders, some incredible discussion points, and duke it out, right? Like get
Duke it out.
get the audience
What the
to
hell's
really
that?
buy into what the discussion is. They might be on one side of the fence, the argument's on the other side of the fence, and the whole point is to bring that diversity of thought and drive change in that space. And that's the exciting bit. And I remember talking to you about it because you were like immediately like, yes. And we'd been talking to a number of people at different conferences and they all bought into it. You and I have obviously had private conversations with a number of people about it and getting their thoughts and experts in the space, and they've all said the same thing. Yes, we need this. And that's the really exciting bit. I love it when we get buy-in from the industry because they're the ones that are living and breathing it. So if they think it's a good idea, it's usually a goer. I
Yeah.
mean, you've seen it yourself.
Well, there's two things for me. One is the event format needs a bit of spicing up, as we've
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
discussed. You call it duke it out. I've never heard that phrase before.
It's a
You're a lot
very
younger.
American term.
Yeah, well, you're also a lot younger than me, so that's probably what I'll have to Google in a minute. Anyway, so I think the duking out or whatever the spicing up of the content and the format and the freshness and the interaction and the engagement with the audience is really
Yeah,
critical.
yeah,
So that's point number one. And point number two, and where I'm coming from, I suppose, is the M&E industry is kicking off at the moment. You know,
yeah,
it's seeing a really big growth surge. Predictions for 2025 are even more growth. You know, what was once an industry that was almost a sort of a over there type thing.
yeah.
It's now becoming mainstream. And what I'm seeing is, as I'm sure you are, because you created the M&E Leadership Forum. You know, we're seeing a lot more sort of maturity around it. So there's a lot of subjects that are
Mm,
on the table for debate, I guess, in
yeah,
terms of what's more important, what's critical, what does the industry need, why does it need it. So
yeah,
there's a lot of debate material in the M&E sector, and our job is to well, we think we've nailed it down to a few topics, don't we? But our job is to bring the most important ones to the surface, debate
yeah,
those, duke
yeah.
it out. I'm going to stop
Mhm.
saying that, and then see what wins. It doesn't really matter what wins because it's not as if somebody's going to get voted in, but it's going to be an acid test of what the industry feels is the
Yeah,
most or are the most important points. So
yeah.
that's yeah, I think the resurgence of M&E or the and the format and structure of the event,
Mm.
I think those two things come together. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
I I think so as well, and I think it's one of those where we're the forum, if you like, or the format is very much geared towards that leadership space from commercial leaders through to operational leaders, owners, operators, the people that are making the decisions that can really drive that change. And that's not to say that the people on the ground, boots on the ground doing the job, are not in the know, because of course they are. But unfortunately, in the space that we work in the hospitality industry and M&E, if we want to see positive change, we have to get the people bought in. And I think the one really cool thing, as I said earlier, is we do have the buy-in from the commercial element. We
Mm.
do have a number of operational leaders that are also absolutely involved with this. What I think we are looking at as well is that owner and operator space, that sort of real decision maker. At the end of the day, it's the decision maker that's going to drive this change. And I think that's where this is perfectly geared towards, because anybody that's in that decision making seat wants to be at this thing. I believe that wholeheartedly. And they're going to be amongst a lot of people that they're going to want to talk to.
Well, they've told us they want to be here, and
Yeah.
obviously we'll be, invites will be dropping, sort of over the next sort of several weeks, I guess. But I think they're going to need to know their shit as well because they're going to be
Mm.
put under pressure by the moderator. We've got some we've
Yeah.
got some pretty chunky
Yeah.
moderators that know their stuff. So
I wouldn't want I wouldn't want to be questioned by one of them in particular, that's for sure.
well, yeah, I mean we don't want to freak them out too much, but the they're going to need to have engaged with their teams and their staff and their
Yeah.
their their businesses because they're going to need to bring those arguments to the table as to
Mm.
why they think their opposing view is so important. So
Yeah.
they may be in a leadership role, but as you say, they're going to need to bring their teams with them in terms of their thinking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, and then there's going to be voting, of course. So everybody's going to have a chance to vote. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be spicy. Is that
Yeah,
sure?
absolutely. And
Which
and
is
that's the thing that I think is missing. That's the thing that I love about this concept, is the thing that was missing for me was the audience engagement, their opportunity to really say their piece. And
mm,
the beautiful thing about the debate format is that that's fundamentally what it's all about, is the
well,
audience's vote,
instant feedback. If you
right?
instant feedback, if you've done a rubbish job at putting your point across, then the audience is going to vote
They're going
for.
to tell you.
They're going to tell you, and they're going to vote for a different,
Yeah.
for the opposing side. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. I
Yeah.
suppose got to get. Well, we have picked the moderators. We're now
Yes.
we're now in the
Yeah.
process of picking. We've got a few panelists that are lined up as well. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Venue. So the partnership for the venue will be announced soon, I'm going to say, over the weeks.
Okay.
But that's exciting as well. Again, it's one of those where the setup is so good that everything around it, all the buzz around it, is already in a strong place. And I don't want to let off too much either, because I want people to be like, what's coming? you
Well,
know?
I think we
Or
need.
yeah.
I think we need to tell them the date, don't we? Because
I
that's
suppose. Go on then.
well, the date. I mean, the only thing that we're going to reveal today is 27th of June.
Yeah. Watch their
So
space.
watch this, and that's going to be a morning job. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be an all day job where you're having
No.
to, we need to be respectful of people's time and priorities. So it's going to be a in early, debate the crap out of it, and then
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah. Well,
So
the nice thing as well is we've got two sort of main debates and then a final sort of roundup debate and vote. And then we're ending with lunch and networking. So that's always nice, because if you end with that element, everyone feels like it's the climax to a really good day. It's that sort of end point where everyone can have a bit of a mingle, have a bit of food before they all head off. And as you say, it doesn't mean that everybody's taking a whole day out. They can then use the afternoon to continue to network, or they can get back to doing what they do best. And that's what I think a lot of people cry out for a lot of the time. It's when it's a whole day and it's the whole day out. It can
yeah,
be
it's
quite
tough gig.
especially for the leadership side of things, for sure.
Mm.
So that's always
Okay,
good.
great. So we're the venue to be released, topics to be released, panelists, everything to be released. Venue, topics, panelists, moderators. What we do know is going to be a debate. It's going to be a spicy format, 27th of June.
Yeah.
Uh, and in true Tom Finn style, watch this space.
Yeah. What we'll do over the next couple of weeks is we'll come back on and then we'll start releasing little snippets. I think that'll be fair to the people,
Okay.
because they're going to want to know this stuff. And I think we're being deliberately cryptic because we're really excited about it. And we don't want to let off too much just yet. But over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see another episode with another couple of little tidbits, if you like, to whet your appetite. But watch out for invites starting to come out, and watch out for further announcements, because we're really, really excited about this. So, do I close it there, Peter, or is there anything else that
Yeah,
you want to
done. No, enough said. Great,
add?
good wrap up. And yeah, we'll do another one in shortly.
Guys, then watch out for this amazing new partnership with Venue Performance and Edwards and Finn, the Great M&E Debate. It's coming soon. Bye bye.